292-677666. You want a house? Link Claudia Davis, man. You want a piece of land? She are the real big woman, Miss Davis. She are the real big woman. With she coulda never go wrong with she. You can put horse and a one true she. You can put acre land and a one. Miss D are the real big woman. With she coulda never go wrong with she. You can put horse and a one true she. You can put acre land. She tell me pre smart pre better. Get one damn place so you prefer it. See me wife of the sign up letter car. NHT them a great chance that. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. My son just on table in December. All she do construction too. She will be the house for you and you get the well rendered. Baby, she are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can put house and a one true she. You can put acre land and a one. Miss D are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can put house and a one true she. You can put acre land. She not start it and left you there. Me and tell your brother, yes, she well prepared. And if you're meeting and no farm a bangaram, she give you liar, brother, fear your fear. She are the best RST agent. She help the lady to stop fear. Rent you no care, but mind them just to be sent by steel and gravel and black and cement house. Now me house that I build up on the high, me and save some money gone up in the sky from. Maybe Claudia, me say me not alive. Got money and me pocket never die. And me swear for me life, so me son him have to fly. So if I quit, they can walk with die. And I can't stop Claudia, Davis don't try. If you see another
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Naku.
I'm also seeing Dance Hall Entertainment News. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. But Tony, they came on after it played the song. Nobody heard the song. Maybe you should just play it again while the others join. Morning Dancehall Entertainment, morning Naku. So we're gonna play the song again.
Eight 292-677666. You want a house? Link Claudia Davis, man. You want a piece of land? She are the real big woman. Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can put house and a one true she. You can put acre land and a one. Miss D are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can put house and a one true she. You can put acre land. She tell me pre smart pre better. Get your own damn place so you prefer it. See me wife of the sign up letter car. NHT them a real setter. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. My son just on table in December. And she do construction too. She will be the house for you and you get the well rendered. Baby, she are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can put house and a one true she. You can put acre land.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning, London to Jamaica. I see Allison is on as well. Good morning. Morning, Allison. Happy Sunday, Anthony.
Happy Sunday. Joy is in the house. Morning, Joy. So is Shella Takes. What a name. You guys. Naku Jam. I like that one. Naku Jam. That could be the name of a company, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Naku Jam. Naku, is that the name of your company? Naku Jam. And Alison Smith, Diary of a Vegan. Diary of a Vegan could be the name of a book as well. I'm kind of into names now because of me writing this book. And the only thing I can think about, what would be the name of this book?
Maybe you can ask your subscribers to come up with some names. For your book.
For the book, yeah.
So
that's when I actually write the book, though. I'm here struggling right now.
You soon get a wind of inspiration.
Right? The wind usually comes, right? It usually comes. You just have to hang in there,
Mm-hmm.
and it will come. The creator is like that, you know. He sees you here. Once you look like you're serious at what you're doing, he's going to send the wind to give you that extra push. But if you're there a lay and not even look for you, I'm just gonna help somebody else. So that's serious, guys. Anything you're doing, you have to be really serious. The creator is going to give you the push. The wind is gonna come. It's like I was saying to Tony with the hurricane. I said, for everything in life, you know, everything in life, you have to be at the right place at the right time. But the problem is, you don't know when is this right place or this right time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just have to start what it is you want to start. Do what it is that you're doing. Keep pushing. And I can tell you, a wind is gonna come. So for some persons, this hurricane is a good win for them, right? For some persons, also the pandemic was a good win for them. So those are what we call the winds of change. Something is gonna happen, whether it be in the atmosphere. Well, both pandemic, both COVID, and for us it was burial. Both of those are in the atmosphere, right? So whatever it is, but this wind of change, this wind is gonna rush by. And the thing is, it doesn't last long, guys. It don't last long. So you have to know when your wind is in. You have to know that. And you have to know when you see the wind is in, you have to pivot quickly with the sails. And you have to get into the wind and ride it for all it's worth. So if it's business you're in, if you're into a profession, a trade, whatever it is, but a wind, we call it, it's a windfall. That's actually what it is, a windfall. So a windfall of something is gonna happen that creates this windfall in your life, right? Sometimes it's a person too. I can tell you that. But sometimes, so for me, it was my two children's father, or as in the Jamaica we say, baby father. So the wind of change will come, right? It can be a person who comes to. It can also be somebody who comes maybe for 3-4 months and gives you that push. So, like for me, it was when I bought my first house. Richard came and co-signed the loan and pushed me, and then I was on my way, right? Um, so you're doing your best, doing your hardest at whatever it is you choose to do, and the creator sees that yes, you know, Tonya need a push, and he's gonna send that wind of change. So whether it be an earthquake, whether it be a pandemic, whether it be a war, whether it be a man or a woman or a child, sometimes it's a child as well.
Technology too.
It can be technology that comes, but you have to be in the space, right? You have to be in the space. Remember, so some persons would have benefited from a pandemic, from a storm, from like right now, I see the generators. So those companies who had generators already in stock, they would have known them have their wind is now. And if they have it and they need to restock, they know how to restock quickly. They're not floundering on what to bring on, you know, because they're in the space. So they would have had their wind. All right. So everybody, you have to know when your wind is here. Lean, change your sails so that you can lean into the wind and you can ride it for what it's worth. Now, you know, nature, the wind doesn't last long. You know that from living on earth. It doesn't last long, only comes for a time. So for you, it might be a month, might be 3 months, might be a year, might even be 10 years. But you have to know when the wind is there, set your sails. You also have to know when the wind has died for you. Um, that's important as well. So you have to know when that wind has died, and then you pivot to the next thing. right? But make use of your wins, guys. Who else came on? London to Jamaica. Henrik Sinclair, good morning. New format? No, we're in two different locations. And therein lies a challenge, guys. We're in two different locations. I'm on the north coast. Tony is on the what you call your place, the south coast.
Yeah.
Yesterday she cussed me out. But more you reach north coast and you forget about the people on the south coast.
They didn't call me all day, like the whole day. I saw you up to like 9 o'clock and then nothing after that.
Come and drive and I enjoy myself. Enjoy myself. I met with my girlfriend Jackie. We went to Scotches. She had some kids with her, so we're like all over. It was cool.
Oh.
Scotches are the best jerk chicken ever. She wanted to go other places. I said, no, 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 no. You gotta go to Scotches. I know this place like the back of my hand. I've tried all the jerk up, left, and right down the road. Scotches, best jerk. You will jerk chicken, jerk pork. Absolutely. They have perfected their recipe. So they're in the wind now of production, the wind of success, all of that.
London, Jamaica said that she
Good job.
got her home now.
Hmm?
Thanks to you. Got her house.
Who is that?
London to Jamaica.
London to Jamaica. Ah, thank you so much, London to Jamaica.
Congratulations.
Congrats on the house. Take care of it. Maintenance is key when it comes to these houses. They're like babies. But take care of it, right? So don't ever abandon your house. As a matter of fact, we're gonna talk about that later on. Adverse possession. I've had so many calls this week about how can I get back this? My family had it and I went overseas and my family migrated and oh my gosh, guys. There's a lot of that kind of sadness in Jamaica right now. But the law doesn't like abandonment. All right. Whether it be a person, whether it be an animal, them can't carry go court for animal abandonment and abusing. The law don't like it. They don't like when you abandon things, right? I guess again, it coming from the creator, you shouldn't abandon things. So you have trees around you, you have flowers, you have insects, you have houses, you have all these things. Right now we're feeling it with burial with the wires, the light wires. Some of the poles really should have been should have been changed out. They weren't. So now we're suffering from again neglect. We shouldn't neglect things or abandon. So congrats to you, London to Jamaica.
JPS is sending out 300 workers to St. Elizabeth to try and get their systems back up.
Okay, well I guess they've completed the other parishes now then. So they're gonna now focus on St. Elizabeth. That's good. I'm still thinking, how will the government? I know the government. I'm sure I read some news about the government. Anybody else read it? The government is getting some insurance money. Somewhere already. Government getting some insurance money, but that is gonna be fixing infrastructure like roads, bridges. What does them fix? Sidewalks, public buildings, schools, libraries, and so on. That money is to repair those. I really hope government of Jamaica that some money is left to help the persons repair their property, their houses. Because I would imagine some of those houses are not insured. It's going to be a hardship. So, I
But
sincerely
the house
hope
is
that
insured, but it's going to take a while to get the insurance money.
not usually.
Doesn't?
No. It's not in a disaster. Because it's obvious it's a disaster. Cause a wind for blow. I mean, when you're in an accident, they might think you deliberately run the car in the wall or something. But it's so obvious that it's a storm. The inspector doesn't need to go out and write up his findings, send it back, and it shouldn't be long.
I just figured that there might be so many. Well, Jamaica, there's not so many. That's
remember, persons have been displaced. The quicker we can get the people back on their feet, and being productive, and not even if them never productive, but just be calm and enjoying them life. That is important. You understand? We don't want people stress. As next in the stress, them overrun the hospitals. It spill out in other ways. No, we'll have to get them back together real fast. Real fast. So, congrats on the house. And if I've inspired you to do anything, guys, you must tell us. Tell us that we inspired you. So those of you just joining, I am I'm Tony Anderson, like President Biden. No, I am Claudia Davis. Tony, you call that a slip of the lips. Oh my God, I used to have this vice president. He says there's always a slip between the cup and the lip. Or having one of those senior moments. I'm Claudia.
And I'm Tony.
Right. Those of you who joining us for the first time, thank you so much for coming on.
I'm not sure how many persons are on today. For some reason, that screen is not showing for me.
I wonder, is it showing for me? Let's see. No, it's not showing for me either.
Usually, right beside live icon.
You see one person on, you talking to them, and you're talking to everybody who's in the chat anyway. So you see some people talking to you in the chat. Don't matter if it's 2 or 3 or 1. You talk to them same way. All right, everybody. Remember, live is where we answer your questions. So, ask us questions. I've been asked questions this week about how do I get back the land. Tony, are there any questions? My screen is not scrolling. Oh, Naku says it's showing 30. Okay, he can see it. Okay, that's cool. Right. So Tony, I managed to get 30 persons out of their beds this morning. Cheryl can see it too. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So I see Sharika saying, I'm inspired every week. I thank you both so much for the weather of knowledge. You're 31 now. Okay, great. Thank you, everybody, for joining. So we're waiting for some more persons to join. So because I want to talk about this adverse possession and all of that. Those of you who are overseas, you really need to take charge of your properties and don't abandon them. Remember, somebody had to work real hard to pay for these properties. These properties don't just come like that, guys. I mean, imagine your parents, your grandparents, or anybody who bought it. Even if they never buy it, they must pay land tax. They must make sure the grass cut. They must plant some fruit trees for you to enjoy. They must paint up the house every Christmas. All these things, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's important. I don't know why Jamaicans just turn a blind eye to their real estate. It's as if they don't know that the wealth is in the land, guys. The wealth is in the land.
Sometimes it could be where the property is.
Now, nothing to do with it. Where's the property? Unless you really decide that you don't want it. So, like, we have something in St. Mary that I'm saying, Tony, let those people live in peace. Don't disturb people. We already live somewhere in peace. Let them live there in peace. Leave them alone. It's a property that I actually had planted 50 coconut trees. I may tell you, them never get taken care of. But I'm sure the persons who live there now see the value of the coconut trees, probably trying to resurrect them, right? So don't leave your things abandoned. Also, children. If you're going to go overseas for a short period of time, 6 months, even maybe 2 years, I would say yes, you could take a chance. But you really take a chance when the child is young. That way, you can still rally back on. You understand? But when a child reaches 11 now, formative teenage years are coming where hormones are going to change, they're more aware of things, and so on. It's not the time to leave. If you're going to leave, you have to take them with you, right? And, you will hear the stories, because I had to leave for opportunity and this. I tell you, my mother left when I was 11. I think it was. I was going to Woolworths, and it was the most devastating thing ever. You know, she got a one-entry visa and she left. Of course, no hopes of coming back. You end up on a one-entry visa. Um, my brother and I, she left us in Jonestown, and then eventually one of our aunties rescued us 3 months later. But that's not the time. If you have to uproot, everybody must be uprooted together. Go together. The worst thing you can do is leave your child. And yes, you're gonna say, "Oh, leave them with them grandmother. I'm gonna leave them with you." If before I thought that was right, I know it's not right. No, having Xander and Zaven, I'm saying to my daughter, you can't leave them alone with me. No, no, no. You have to pay another younger person here as well, right? As anything can, me can fall asleep. He told me. Plus, so yeah, leaving your child in the full care of them grandmother did. I don't say you can't leave them go work and come back. Yes, you can do that. So grandmothers take care of the children in the days and so on. But you come back and you take over and the child interacts with you. And when I see Xandas even now with their dad, their mom, Tony and myself, you realize that they interact with each of us differently. You Tony?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
realize that they interact with us differently. So like Xana and Xavier will run to me when they're trying to be rescued, literally rescued from maybe they take a toy from them or you know something like that, something like that. But if they want something to eat, them not come to me. Them I go to them mother, them daddy. Them they interact with us differently. So as best as you can, guys, keep your family intact as best as you can. That is how you're gonna weather the storm. That is how you're gonna be able to pivot quickly when the wind changes. When you have more people on the sail that can do all of that for you, then you know you have a better chance of being able to even make use of the wind. Isn't that so, Tony?
Yeah.
You do. So if you're gonna leave, you leave early, right? I would say kiddies maybe 2, 3, 4 leave, come back.
Yeah,
But
because mom, I don't have any memory of you leaving.
right. Well, I went overseas when I was in the army. I went to Royal Military Academy Sanders from January to August, and that was 8 months. But then I came back. Um, so you don't have that memory, Tony, right? So you have to do it early, guys. If you want to study, whatever it is, time it and do it early. Don't wait. And if the time pass, as me say, the wind pass, leave it alone.
And what
You're,
happens, mom, it's hard to parent children who don't know you.
you're peering from afar. Again, that one to know Tony me not get. The kids have to be there. And if you think you can parent from afar, it literally means that you really have to be on the phone with those children every single day. Every single day. As they come from school or in the evenings, you have to be on the phone with them as if you were actually there. Or you set up your videos. So like sometimes I would do say, no, I'm on a North Pose. So in the evening now my daughter is gonna set up our phone with a video and my grandsons will interact at that time. Sometimes I'm not even paying me no mind. But them just sit them know that I'm there on the phone with them. So that's what you have to do.
And
Right?
the one will ask for the call.
Yeah, the little one will ask, call grandma, what does he call me? If he doesn't say grandma, the big one says grandma. What does he say? Little one.
Mima.
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 Mima. Where did they get that name? Where did he get that name? Only God knows. But that's what he said. He said,
Actually a popular name for grandmothers in the south of America. Mima.
so how that the name transcend to him and him there? We are Jamaica.
I guess because he can't say grandma, it defaults to Mima.
but I hear him saying other things. Excavator and what? A truck, crane truck. I mean, my two grandsons them know every big equipment. They know the name and they know the difference. So you say, is that a crane truck? No, grandma, no, grandma. It's a garbage truck. It's a garbage truck. So I tell Tony, listen to me. We got to get some books. Any of you know any children books? It don't have to be children books. I don't like children books like that. Books with those big equipment in them, because I'm saying, this is how I'm going to train them to read. So now that I know what their interest is, I can really get them now to read those books with those pictures of those things in it. So if I can't find any book online, I might have to design a book, because they don't have any trouble with the big words. The big words, them all right. Them can call excavator and all kind of thing, and they know it, really know it.
They need to by the word, like if they see the word, they kind of shape out that is excavated as theirs.
Yeah, they know the word as well. And they love trains. So, Tony, probably we need to just get the pictures and put the book together, because I have to train them in the reading. So now that I know what it is that them like, because I noticed that them don't like him reading book at all. Because he thinks it's boring. I think so too myself.
You don't like Pam Pam?
No, sir.
I am Pam.
I am Pam. We need to build a book. I'm thinking about renting. This is Cheryl now. About renting my house, but is worried about what kind of tenants I will get. I've heard of horror stories about tenants from hell. What advice can you share about renting? Tony,
rent. Have a question before that?
Did we? Hold on, let Tony just check if we have a question before that.
Yeah, man. You have a couple questions before that. Up at the top here, Q8 says, so home insurance is a must-have. Is there special decorative roof that can stand hurricane?
The slab.
Decorative roof. A slab is a decorative roof.
All right. So here's the lesson we learned from that now. It's a decorative roof. So you're talking about a cable roof or a Yukon Valley, right? That's what you're talking about. All right. Or even a shed. All right. So back in the day, we had Gilbert, and we had to set new standards for roofing. So the engineer said, okay, you need J-bolt into the concrete, and then you put on the plate, which is either 2x4, 2x6, 2x8, depending. And you screw it down on the plate. And then when you put on the rafters, those of you, if you buy my book, How to Build a Block and Steel House, all of that is going to be in it. When you put on the rafters, and you need to strap with hurricane strap. I'm trying to remember. I've seen them strap every other rafter. But if I'm personally doing the roof, hurricane straps are so cheap, I ensure that they strap every single rafter for me has to be strapped. Not just every other one, every single one. And sometimes I even double strap, depending. Right? No. So what we found, those that had the J-bolt and the hurricane straps, the rafters were there. Before, what happened, Gilbert lift up the entire roof and go with it. This time, the rafters are in place, the plate is in place, and the zinc sheet in flat peel off and gone. What could be the cause of that? I'm thinking, what could probably be the cause is the length of the screws or nails, right? So if the nail that you use is a little ½ inch, maybe we have to reconsider that. Maybe the board is off, depending on the rafters, so it can be 4 or 6. So if a 4 board, maybe we need to use a 2 inch or something like that, but are more of them, more along the line, because it's just peeling off the sheets of the top. So you're not cool. That's what I would say. You need to use longer nails or screws to hold down the sheeting. Now, depending on what you're using, there may be some super adhesive glue too that we could probably use. I don't know. We need some super adhesive glue that can probably be used with the, because we use a backing. So when we're using shingle, we have a membrane or a backing, felting, that goes onto the plyboard first. Maybe we could have something like that. And do the same thing with the shingles, right? The Decra tiles, I don't see the Decra tile roof move. I don't remember seeing that. I think it's only those that were those like regular zinc or but I think it had something to do with the length of the screws or nails that were used to hold down sheeting onto the frame, the 2 by 4 or 2 by 6 rafters. So the rafters are the ones that come down and go to the edge. So this is my wall, outside wall, standing up. So I'm giving you a front view now. The other side of the roof is a gable. It's the one that's shaped like a triangle. This is the other side of the wall. This is the front. So this is a rafter going that way towards. So the rafter goes from the ridge. So the ridge board is in the middle. Rafter goes from the ridge board to the edge of the wall like this. Usually overhanging maybe 12, 18, 2 feet, depending on your design.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this rafter, the sheeting now goes on it. I think that sheeting that's attached to the rafter was anchored properly. That's what I'm thinking. Because I noticed the frames stood up, but the zinc sheet peeled up. So
Wow,
maybe
a really good slab, mom.
4 inches wire galvanized nail is used. Can be galvanized nail. We have to use a special nail when we putting on those things. What happened? The nail of a kind of, so galvanized nail is smooth, right? That never hold nothing if a hurricane come and start lift up that. It's smooth. The usual nail, I'm at a property here now that though I'm not like that inside. It usually have a little somebody give me the right word, but it's not smooth. What's the word I'm looking for?
Is it curved?
No man, it have a,
A rigidness?
yeah, it have a it's not smooth. So when it goes in, it's supposed to stay. You can't take it out so easy. As a matter of fact, if you try to take it out, you're gonna rip up the zinc.
Oh.
You understand? You're gonna rip up the zinc. So it's not smooth. It has to be, and it can't be wire nail. Wire nail usually means that board or so, but it has to be zinc nail, Dion. Zinc nail, not regular wire nail. Oh, where are my construction people on this morning? Ben, talk to me. Talk to me. The wire nail, usually it's a wire nail that is a smooth nail that you would have lick in a piece of board or, or so. But you have to use zinc nail. Zinc nail is different, totally different. It it's shaped different. If you put it in anything, it's hard to pull out because it have the whatever on it, it's gonna resist coming out. So when you take it out, usually tear up the zinc and everything.
Mhm. So I was saying, Miss D, I say this all the time. It's never right for mothers, especially to leave their kids. I understand the forced need for women to provide these days, but the kids suffer more than they benefit. And Scorpion said, my mom and dad left us with our aunt and they treat us like slaves.
Wow, wow. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The kids suffer more. Better
Mhm.
you have one slice of bread, give the kid half, and you eat half. I'm telling you. Better you keep them by your side, train them, grow with them. They learn to respect that. Um, I've I've had mothers say they're really sorry that they left their kids. I know in the end my mother was sorry too that she left us. Um, it's important that you stick together, guys. And the kid don't care, He don't care about no whole heap of clothes and all these things. He just care about you. The other day I gave Xana Zeva $50. I'm just $50. Look on it and them never ever care about $50.
Oh, they're not the age.
But I'm almost sure that them don't care.
But what I realize, Mom, is that when you're a certain age,
Irrelevant.
you're suffering. Like you don't realize you're in a state of poverty or your parents can't provide. You just know your mom's there. You have little food to eat, yes, but you're working with it anyway.
Yeah.
So
And
the
then
way
children don't need a lot of food. I'm now reminded of that with these two kids. I can buy one box food and share it for the three of us. Quite fine. And half the time, I am eating what them leave to. And I'm saying, I can't waste my money, you know. It's all right. I'm sitting right here. When you finish, I'll eat the rest. Fine. That's okay. Right? Yeah, but
sometimes
I'm
people wonder if they're getting any food.
clearly I eat, man. Like our classic is the ones on there. Yeah, here his mom. But he doesn't eat sausage. I say, all right, give him sausage and fried plantain. Let's see. Well, he got it and I said, give him good little ketchup on the side, man. Then we eat it, man. Well, he did dip it, the sausage in the ketchup. When he realized it was sausage, spit it out. Back into the plate, right? So he had his plantain. I said, give him a piece of bread and butter. And he got his little piece of bread and butter, and he was fine. And he fried plantain and then bread and butter, and he was up. But Zeva, man, Zeva, grandma, I want sausage. And he's pointing at Xander's plate. Xander leaving the sausage. I said, Zeva, I took it out and I gave it to him. So he had all the sausage, you know, and then he left the plantain. So he had the sausage and he left the plantain. So I ate his plantain, you know. But it's good to hang out with them and you realize they don't need, because it was a Friday too, and his mom was taking out chicken to cook. I said, no. On a Friday, we're going light. Tradition, right? My mother used to give me, I think, a $2 for going to the corner, go buy the jerk chicken, man. So we buy a quarter of chicken with them here 2 slices of bread, and my brother and I share that, right? So, you know, on a Friday every night. But unfortunately, we don't live near the jerk chicken, man. You have to go.
You do live near the jerk chicken, man. It's just that you can't walk there.
No, you can't have it. I don't work my time. Anybody else?
Yeah, we do. So Cheryl now is saying, I'm thinking about renting my house, but is worried about the kind of tenants I will get. I have heard of horror stories about tenants from hell. What advice can you share about renting?
Tony, you're a baby. Literally, you're a baby.
Well, I usually provide potential tenants with a form. My form is online, and I collect information about their jobs, what they do, their tenancy, and I review that in great detail before I rent them. What's also good is to do an in-person interview with them. You just ask them all the questions that you need to know, and based on how you feel and getting to know them and the type of questions you ask, you kind of have an idea of what kind of tenants they would be. If they're coming from a situation where they were already renting, it would be good to speak to that landlord as well. And usually, the reason they're trying to move is a good indicator of the type of tenants they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, tenants who want to move in tomorrow or running from some situation are usually just like a no for me.
Well, you know, on the desperation.
No.
Okay.
Because those type of desperation means you're really not good with money management and those things.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not able to plan your life more than 2 days a week in advance. Those type of people don't work with my type of personality.
Okay. Oh, because you're a slow boat to China. Nobody rush you. So, all right. So on the form is important, right? You set up your form, ask anything you want to ask them. Everything. How many children? Spouse. Where the spouse work? How much you earn per month? Everything. What Tony forgot to tell you is that attached to that when they send it back to you must be the pay slips. You're looking at the pay slips. What you're looking for now? You're looking for the net pay. Somebody send you a pay slip and the net pay is less than. What is our rule of thumb? It's 3 times the rent?
3 times the rent.
3 times the rent. So the gross pay must be 3 times the rent. But you're looking at some people have everything coming out of them pay, them mortgage, them. So apart from the taxes, so you get a pay slip, taxes come out. So let us say rent is 50,000. Them earning 150,005. Then them take out the taxes. So taxes may can't come to more than 30,000. Not in Jamaica anyway, because the threshold is 120. So maybe 25,000. So they would have 125,000 left. Your rent is 50,000. Plus your rent probably will include some utilities. So therefore, you would have they should be able to pay the rent, right? So one of the first rules of thumb, you do like the banks. You must be earning 3 times the rent. So your rent is 50,000, somebody come to you with 100,000 now. Anything less than 3 times is a no. When you look at the pay slip now, you realize, hold on, them people have OBA financing, courts that take out money. How kind of money I come out of the account? They say, well, hold on, the net pay on 10,000. Definitely can't rent the place. Forget that. You must also look for the pay slips as well. So you will literally need to take out the phone and call the company. Look for the company in the directory. Don't ask them for the number. You look for the company online, Google, whatever. You pick up the phone, you call the company, you ask to talk to the person, or you ask to talk to HR, you just do a little quick check. You can't know if they work there. You ask to talk to the person, the operator transfer you same time through, then yes, person work there. But if the operator start to book, person don't work there. Look for the fake pay slips. You kind of can know the fake pay slips. So one rule of the pay slips, usually the pay slips are calculating the NIS, NHD, income tax, education tax, and it's usually at the bottom. So they ask a 3 months pay slip. You look at that and you look if it's accumulating. So in January, they may have taken 10,000 for income tax. In February, they take the same 10,000. So January at the bottom was a 10,000 income tax. February at the bottom was a 20. March was a 30,000, right? So it's cumulative. So if you don't see that cumulative, usually fake pay slip. Usually the pay slips will come with them ID number, them TRN number, them NIS number. So you know TRN numbers are 9 numbers, NIS are 2 letters or 4 numbers, and so on. They come with those things on it.
And I usually only take tenants who come from big companies.
Tony, they are discriminated.
It's easier to vet them when they come from a big company.
Oh, it's easier to vet them. So,
Yeah.
so what?
Really just
so somebody come from small company like our company now, you don't want them.
No. And I usually check how long they're with the job for. That's important. People who are not able to hold jobs can't really pay rent like that because they're fickle, flighty.
And the other thing is references usually on the form. So my thing, you must call all references. And the key question I ask the reference, I said, listen, if this person cannot pay this rent, are you willing to pay it? Can you pay the rent? If them buck shuffle, you're a problem there. You're gonna ask the person that you use as a reference, will you recommend this person for this to rent this place? And if they don't pay the rent, are you willing to pay this rent? It's one of the main key questions that you need to ask. So you have to get at least 2 family and 2 friends for the reference, and let them and call the reference as well. And as Tony says, previous landlords, you're gonna call them as well. Sometimes in order that you do get a bad tenant, but remember your last stage now is to meet them in person. So all of what we're talking about is probably online. You send them the form, them fill it out, them send it back, you call up, you say, yes, them work there, yes, the referencing. And then the next stage now is to meet them at the property that you're going to be renting. When you meet them at that property now, this is where Tony jump into play now. But that's a final there. So Tony, tell them what your thing with that.
I don't know what I do.
So Tony, if the person, for some reason, Tony have this, well, I use my instincts as well. But you hear her say, no. I don't want to talk to that person every week or every month. You come friend from Tony and she decides say the personality are too rough or too it not blend with our psyche. You know?
So what happened to me, Mom, is my personality is like midpoint here in terms of communication and stuff. If a person needs excessive communication, like every week about this and that, or if an aunt's come into place that's right and they need to call me, then they're not the tenant for me. And if they're too low on the communication space, if something is seriously going wrong and they're not calling me to communicate or whatever, then that type of person is not gonna be a good tenant for me either.
Like a leaking toilet.
Yeah.
For days, and they say nothing. Too low on the communication. And you can't judge the level of communication. You ask them a question. No. Yes.
Or they don't know, or they're just blank.
Yeah, they have no answer. But somebody who talks up and some of them know over the top knows and over explain things. So I guess those are the ones that she said over communicate. Right?
Because what happened is your personality and your tenant's personality need to match. Even if the pay slip and the references and everything are good, you need the tenant to be somebody you can talk to.
Yeah.
Outside of them just being your tenant.
Yeah.
Or the relationship is not gonna work.
No, it's not.
And if it's like a couple that's coming, at least one of them need to have a personality that you can communicate with.
So those are some of the things if you're gonna be renting. You may end up with a bad tenant. I've had to throw out tenants, yeah.
And it's a skill you have to learn over time. It doesn't just happen like that. The more you deal with, the more you build that skill of finding a good tenant.
Yeah. When I started the tenant thing, I actually bought a course by Carlton Sheets. I don't know if Carlton Sheets is still around, but I still have the binders. So back in the days, you got CD and books. Whole thing coming a binder. So his course is what I use, and I just started out. He's good. So guys, Google it, see if he's still around. Carlton Sheets. You would have still. It was a good course, so I'm sure they would have repackaged and get modern and all of that. So it's probably online as well. So those were weird. That was where I found some of the forms and things and how. Because I wanted it when I was just going into real estate investing. So he teaches you about how to get mortgages, how to buy property, how to all of that, and then the whole tenant situation. So look it up, guys. Somebody look it up. Tell me if he's still on. I can't stop to look it up as I'm talking to you, but you can look it up. Carlton Sheets. Drop his probably a website or a landing page or something. Drop it in the chat. You can go and buy his thing. When I bought it back in the day, I talk about ancient days when I read book on CD. On the ancient
And he died in 2020.
Huh?
He passed
died
away in 2020.
Okay. Mm-hmm. His company is still going?
I'm not seeing anything.
Picture books with construction equipment are types of transportation. Or Monica, it's types of transportation, I would think. No, it's both. Because it's both. Because like excavator, bulldozer. What else I see them talking about? Crane.
Water,
Those are equipment.
fire,
Transportation is like trains, fire trucks, dumper
ambulance.
trucks, garbage trucks. Those are transportation. So I guess it's both. It's both, Monica. You know my number, 2926776. If you find anything or if you bought for your children and you know the brand and so on, you can send it to me and we'll get it on Amazon. We took them to Palmetto Pines the other day and they were so excited with the excavator. He told me and the number just big old thing. And these kids want to jump up on it. I'm saying, that was me. I wouldn't go near that thing. They're so fascinated. I need to take them back. They're really fascinated. When they break from summer school, I'll take them back a day so they can interact with it again. Of course, the excavator and so on, they were parked. They weren't in use because it was a weekend and the guys don't work on weekend. But they were so fascinated with it, and they were like checking out the wheels and oh my god, you know, it's good when your children know the passion. You can see the passion. And once you see the passion in your kids, you must encourage it, guys. Encourage their passion.
Sharika, send me a WhatsApp 370-8138 and I'll send you a copy of the form.
Register with the rent board. You mean the rent board in Jamaica? Well, I don't know about that. We only interact with them when somebody reports us. He told me. My God. Tony, you want to send your form to Sharika?
Yes, you just need to maybe send me a WhatsApp or email.
4 inches. All right. Any more questions?
No.
All right, so let's move to. All right, so the act. We're talking about adverse possession now. You all know what adverse possession is, right? We have done this before. So the act that gives the rights to the all right, so the act that gives the rights to somebody to adverse possess you or to file that they are now in possession of this property and they want your name and title and displace you. That is called the Limitation of Actions Act. You can look at the Limitations of Actions Act, or just type in Google Limitations of Actions Act, Jamaica. Actual company can go to town and read it. However, the section that really speaks to it is section 3 and 4, right? The conditions of adverse possession. Tony dropped something on the screen. Let me just read it. Are they seeing it or just me alone?
What?
This that you dropped for me to read.
Oh, it's in the chat, so everyone can see it.
Everybody can see it. Okay, so it's in the chat, everybody. What about persons who look at this afterwards? Can they still see it in the chat?
Yes, they can see it in the chat, but it may take more scrolling on there for them to find it.
Okay. All right. So Cheryl says she see it, right? So the section on adverse possession, as I said, 3 and 4, but just a little summary, something I want to draw it to your attention to. The section on adverse possession of land in the Limitations of Action Act outlines the conditions under which a person can claim ownership of land through continuous possession. So they must be in continuous, meaning them there every day. Them live on the place, them farming it, them in possession. It specifies that no person can make an entry or bring an action to recover any land or rent after 12 years from when the right to make such an entry or action first accrued to someone through whom they claim. Who can explain that? It specifies that no person can make an entry or bring an action to recover any land or rent after 12 years. Let's stop there, sir. Is that clear enough, everybody? No person can make an entry or bring an action to recover any land or rent after 12 years. What does that mean in simple terms? Well, I think it's simply no, but somebody say it another way. Put it in the chat. Tony, we need a way for persons to talk to us now. You don't discover the technology yet, man.
It's the same technology that you're using to talk to me right now. We're not in the same location.
So why the 30 persons can't speak?
So what happened is,
All right. So what do you think about it?
10 persons.
Can only do what?
10 persons.
Oh, you're limited to 10 persons. Got it.
But I think that's just the plan I'm on. Maybe if I'm on a different plan, I could get more people.
All right. So Sharika says, after 12 years uninterrupted, you can't make claim on property thereafter. Who cannot make the claim, Sharika? Who? Who cannot come and make the claim after 12 years?
The owner.
They who? Was it Sharika alone who answered the question? Answer? It's the owner, right, Sharika? The owner. So if you are the original owner, you cannot come after 12 years and claim this property because you gone, abandonment thereafter. Must be in ownership. And you notice it also says rent. So therefore, if you put some money in your house and them there for 12 years and don't pay no rent, you decide now, say you want rent, you can't claim 12 years worth of rent. That's what it's saying too. All right, Tony, I need to see about the screen. Oh, hold on. I have it in my phone, so let me read it from my phone. Might be tricky for you to get back up. All right, so we'll clear the first part. Anybody still understand? Let me see now. All right, so here it is. No person can make an entry or bring an action to recover any land or rent after 12 years. All right, everybody. After 12 years for when the right to make such an entry or action first accrued to someone through whom they claim. Okay. Which Sharika answered. The right to recover land or rent is deemed to have first accrued at the time of dispossession or discontinuance of possession. So could be at the time of death of the last person entitled. So let us say it's your mother who owned the property, and you know, as the daughter, supposed to inherit or get this place. Based on the laws, you would have the right to now possess, and also the right to claim it under administration without a will if she didn't leave a will or if she left a will, right? Now, when the person claim it or discontinuance of possession at the time of death or the last person entitled, or when the person claiming became entitled by virtue of an instrument other than a will. So it could be, it don't have to be a will, it could be by a court order, right? It could be by a trust, right? So let us say I left a trust for Zanda and Xavier, right? So they would now have the right. The Act also provides special rules for claiming involving reversion or remainder interest, mortgages, tenants at will, and tenants from year to year. Additionally, it allows for extensions of time in cases of disabilities like infancy, So suppose I left a property, this property I'm sitting in, I leave it for Zana saving, but they're in their infancy. Somebody decide that, oh, you know, say, Miss Davis gone, Tony and gone, the mother and father gone. When I come sit down at this place and wait, because Zana saving now only 3 and 2 now. By the time them reach 18 and actually can't think that 12 years would have passed. But the law says it allows for extension of time in cases of disabilities like infancy, idiocy, lunacy, or unsoundness of mind. So if the person who should have gotten the place rightfully is in an infancy mode, idiocracy, lunacy, or unsoundness of mind, the law allows for that extension of time beyond the 12 years. However, notice it says, but not for absences beyond the seas. What does that mean, guys? What does that mean? Beyond seas, not for absences beyond seas. Now Google it too if you don't know what it means. It's talking, but it's pretty straightforward.
Right. If you're overseas, not on the island, or not in the country where the property is.
Mm-hmm. Right, Monica. Right, Monica. So, guys, those of you who have left the island, you are in a sticky position with this law. How do you claim possession? Because possession is 9/10 of this, you know. You have to be in possession. So how can you be in possession if you're overseas? Now notice it speaks about rent, right? Rent. So therefore, you can mitigate this. So let us say you're really overseas, you have to go overseas. You can mitigate this by doing what? By doing what? Yours can still be in possession by doing what? It speaks about rent too. So what can you do? Anybody answer? No, not pay the land tax here, Kuwait. No, I don't care about who pay the land tax. Anybody can pay the land tax. What can you do? What should you do?
Maintain possession.
Maintain possession by doing what?
Can rent the property.
You can rent the property and make sure you collect the rent. Because a tenant cannot now claim adverse possession being a tenant and paying rent.
What if it's just land?
You just land, you lease the land, lease it. So lease it, don't just leave a land abandoned like that.
You can secure the land too.
And you can secure it, fence it, that.
Maintain it by cutting it, post proper signage on it.
Right. Have the renter deposit to your account, right? And you can pay somebody to keep and care, rent, lease, all of that. So you might have a caretaker. Caretaker goes there every month, cuts the grass, pick the fruits, make sure the fence secure, all of that. Right? Visit Jamaican property at least once a year, Cheryl. Once a year. No, Cheryl. No. You need to pay a caretaker. Somebody who's going to go there daily or every week.
Not only that, so that way so you have your receipts.
Yeah.
Doing that you're maintaining your land.
Maintaining your property. You can visit Jamaica property at least once a year. Because you call this year, nobody not there. As you leave the next day, somebody gone. Build up a concrete house in 2 months. What you do? What do you do? Spend time at the property each year? No, that's not going to cut it. If it's a house, I suggest rent even a 1 room of that house. Collect rent from the tenant, right? Don't just leave this place abandoned. If you're in the gated communities, you stand a good chance. You can probably lock up your house, and you shouldn't lock up your house 1 year and gone anyway. You really need somebody to go there monthly just to check on it to make sure the flooding not happening and all these things that can happen in houses, no termites coming up and all of that, right? So if you're in the gated, it's stand a little bit safer. You're in an open neighborhood, you know you're not there, you need to talk to the neighbor. Give the neighbor a key, right? This is the neighbor oversee. You cannot just abandon these places and then you come back and you cry. Another way you can protect the property from adverse possession that nobody's thinking of, and I'm not going to tell you no. Or Tony, should I take them out of the mystery?
You should, because some people really need the knowledge.
All right, so let me see. Hold on. Some people giving us some. What if no tenant? Well, we address that. Have a caretaker. And the receipts. Get a property manager to go there, check it, make sure that. Cheryl is saying visit Jamaican property at least once a year. No, Cheryl. Worse if it's land, guys. If it's land, you stand the risk, right? You stand the risk. So with land, we personally have to drive, make sure we're there once a week, 2 weeks. We have to be there driving, make sure nobody not on this land. But how can you spend time on the property? Somebody have another one. Have a mortgage. Yes, Cheryl. Cheryl, love it. Cheryl, I've been to the classes before. Have a mortgage on the property. If it's even $1,000, $10,000. Well, I'm talking Jamaica. $10,000, $1 million, something. Put a little mortgage on it. There's another way you can do it. So that's one. There's another way. Put cameras around your house. Yes. Around the property. Remember they usually adverse possess land mostly, guys. Land is your problem. What else?
Houses too, man.
Yeah, have someone oversee, put up no trespass sign, fence the land, charge rent. Yes, Sharika. Put cameras, yes, have a mortgage. One more thing on the missing, man. So at first it was 2, but Cheryl said 1. Have a mortgage. Once you have a mortgage on the property, Tony, we need to take this advice, mortgage. You have land, you don't want but run, go look every day, put a mark. Because the thing is, you could be looking at the land every day and nobody's on it, but guess what? They are bringing an action in the court and you don't know. Isn't that so, Tony?
Yeah.
So you could be looking at this land, but you don't know that these people put it in paperwork to get your property. You don't know. What if you're leaving family members in it to live without renting them? Well, I really think you should charge a rent. Write up a lease, charge them $1 a month, and collect $12 before you leave, or collect $200, and that will cover how much years too. But put something in place. It's not difficult for you to get a loan, Melissa. You can get a loan from a Jamaican bank. Tony put the bank officer in the chat so she can get it. Something else on the missing, man. All right. So yes. What about a loan? Yes. Put a mortgage on it. Yes. What about a trust fund? Put it in a trust. So I put it in a trust for Zana Zero. Because once I'm got to the titles office now to transfer it now, they're going to realize, ouch, this thing is in a trust. So them can't touch it now because it is in a trust. If you want to drop it there, JN Mortgage Bank Officer, right? So you put it in a trust. Put a lien on it. All right. What is on which other property now them can't touch? No. Remember the thing give you some time, length of time, right? How much length of time it say you have? After how many years can they really claim?
Well,
You don't remember? It says it. Don't remember? It's right there in front of us, as a matter of fact. I know the answer, but I'm trying to read. Oh, it's not that section, Tony? Wow. "12 years." It says it. Yes, good. Government land is 60, but we're talking about your land now. So it says 12 years. So what does that mean? Naku, Anthony, Chris, Cheryl, what that mean in a real life? So if them have to depend the land for 12 years before them can claim. Let me get someone. No, that don't give any more security. We're talking about just paperwork, RPW. Them can't remember say other land them are claiming us. So no matter whose name on the title, 100 names can be on it. But what's not on it is a date of birth, right? So it could be children's name on it too, but the date of birth not there. But what happened is that the law, the Limitations Act, the act gives extension of time for infancy, lunacy, unsoundness of mind, and so on. So even if they brought it, they would probably reverse it. But how you reverse it if the people go bill on it and all of that? So what about the land? No. Okay, so the real owner neglect the land or property for 12 years. Yeah, but which property? Think, guys. Them have 12 years. So them have to be on this land for 12 years. So what kind of property can they not bring an action of adverse possession on? A property that has been in existence for... Who have the answer? Who have the answer? Tony, don't get the answer. Tony, you know the answer? Tony. Tony on the phone. She's silenced. Less than 12 years. Yes, Vanessa. You are at the top of the class, guys. Less than 12 years. So like Camelot title, a Camelot title would only be 2 years old now. So them couldn't bring that because how can the property, this title is only 2 years old, are you talking about you in possession for 12 years and more? Yes. So a new development. Yes, Cheryl. Yes, RPW. Yes, Vanessa. You're using your brain. So now you have 3 other ways that you can use, right? So it suits you as somebody living overseas to buy new property, new subdivisions like a Palmetto Pines or some others that you're going to see me shoot up, like the Portland one coming, right? It suits you to buy new subdivisions because you're not here. It may not be here for 12 years, so you know, oops, I can't bring the action with this guy. This under 12 years. Can't prove that to the judge. Also, if you have property that is over the 12 years, so on, you can put it in a trust for minors and so on, right? And you can also put a little mortgage on the property. So that's 3 other ways I just gave you that you can save this property from them saying you've abandoned the property, all right? Or from people just looking at it and say, oh, this place abandoned enough. Them don't pay the property tax how much years enough. Let me go snatch it now from under them. All right? So properties that you've bought. So like if you bought Draxall, how old is Draxall now? So Draxall maybe 2-3 years now, so that's probably 3 years. That's Hills of Draxall I'm talking about. I don't know about the Drax. Polar Villas was probably 4 years now. So that should be okay. But like a Richmond may be over that time, or some of the others. All right. So, and for those that you're not living in, the over 12 years you're not living in, you need to find a tenant. Find a property manager. But even a property manager on the ground doesn't say that somebody in the background is not changing up your title and sending it to them in possession and all kind of things, right? So really the persons who live overseas, you are the ones at risk. And remember, you must leave a proper will. If you don't want to leave a will, add your children's name to the title and so on. A title with a minor on it cannot be transferred because the minor cannot sign, and the laws in Jamaica protects minors. They protect minors, right? So you can do that as well, but know that if a minor's name is on this title, you yourself can't sell it or anything, right? So if this is a property that I would really want to give Zana's even, I'm saying Zana's even, I probably add their names to it. Or, as I say, put it in a trust. Then you put it in a trust now. You can say, for the children of Zanda, for Tonian's children, Rachel's children, and those children, so all descendants of me with direct blood descendants of me can now benefit from this. And if there is done, so if some everybody get wiped out, then it goes revert to the crown. All right. Or you can say it go to your relatives, like your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, and so on. So if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. All right. So the key with this, they need 12 years. 12 years of undisturbed, uninterrupted possession. So the section that deals with it, remember, section 3 and 4. So section 3 states that no person shall make an entry or bring an action or suit to recover any land or rent, but within 12 years next after the time at which the right to make such entry or to bring such action or suit shall have first accrued to some persons through whom he claims. Section 4 details when the right to make an entry or bring an action to recover any land or rent is deemed to have first accrued, specifying various scenarios such as dispossession, the death of the person last entitled, and other specific conditions under which the right accrues, right? So it establishes a time frame and the conditions under which possession must be maintained to make a claim. So we'll probably look at more details in the act next week, but that's all I'll be discussing for adverse possession. You can go and read it. It's a Limitations Act. The full name is what? Limitation of Actions Act. So it limits the time the action can be brought to court. So Limitation of Actions Act. Did you drop it in the chat, Tony? Or you didn't find it?
Oh, I didn't look for it. Let me do that now.
All right, so you still have some time, guys. Any more questions? Any questions on limitations or anything else? It don't have to be. Now remember, the onus is on you, the owner, or you, the person who inherit, right? By virtue of a will or by virtue of, you used to live there, your grandfather and grandmother own the place, or your mother and father own the property is yours. You need to ensure that you protect your properties. Don't abandon. The court don't like abandonment. And don't talk about you just pay link up the property tax. That don't work. Women don't care who pay property tax. They just want money. All right, Tony, Monica is asking, what's your access limitation of Action Act? You can just Google it, Monica. Put Jamaica behind it. Limitation of Action Act, Jamaica. It will come up and you can download it and read it. Tony, find it? Drop it in chat.
I'm looking for
Divinity
it.
off topic. Divinity, you're a girl or a boy? Divinity 7. If you're getting married, would you want a diamond ring or a normal stone ring? I would like your answer, Miss B. First of all, I don't wear rings. So I don't want any of those. Right? No ring. If I'm getting married, the first criteria is you must come with some assets. Tony, you want some assets? Tony, can you hear me? Tony, you hearing?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Are you hearing? Want some assets. You have to come with some assets. I don't want a ring. I don't wear rings. And I would never wear the ring. So you have to come with some cash flowing assets. Naku say if I want land or house. Naku, usually land is a liability unless it's farming land and it is active, right? Or the land of some other use, like it have a spring on it, or it have a well, or it have a waterfall, or something that is active and is cash flowing. Why am I saying this? At my age, anybody I married to have to be older than me too. So them themselves coming with some liabilities as well. So therefore, you have to add. So in other words,
I think mom got disconnected. Mom, can you hear us? Can everyone hear me? It says I'm still connected. All right, so can you hear mom? Or is she disconnected? Okay, so she's disconnected. All right, hopefully she comes back soon. I'm actually trying to find the Limitation Act. I think I found it, but I'm going to share the link with everyone. Okay. Okay, this is a Limitation Act. Let me just give her a call to see what happened. Oh, she has a power outage where she is, so she no longer has electricity. You think the electricity coming back? Okay. So you're gonna try and connect with your cell phone? Okay. All right. Yes, it should come back up. All right. All right. So she had a short power cut. So she's gonna log back in shortly. But I think where mom is going with this older gentleman that she's going to marry needs to come with assets. I think she's gonna even tell you that he needs to come with a house to put her in. But for me though, the diamond ring or the stone ring, I personally don't like rings with stones attached to them, just because of the sheer inconvenience of the stone and everything. The minute you're hitting it on something, or when you're trying to put on your clothes, it's itching and those things. So I would prefer a very plain band for myself. And that way too, having the ring on doesn't attract so much attention for myself. But yeah, if when mom's marrying an older man, I mean, at that point in his life, he should have accomplished certain things, right? Probably had a family before, raised a couple of children, run a business, or had a good career and collecting pension, etc. But you should come with some assets, because what would he have been doing with the last 60 years of his life? And I think with mom at her age, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want a help down mate, as she would call it sometimes. She wants a help up mate. How long would it take for the name change to switch? You mean in the adverse possession? That's a question for mom. I know it's a court proceedings, so I'll ask her if she's ever seen any situation like that, and how long does it take. Right, Monica, the ring doesn't matter. No, the ring really is to, I guess, announce to other people that you're married, right? It really doesn't affect your marriage, but in any way, it's just to show other people. So if the marriage is really about just you and him, right, and it's not something to show other people, then I guess it doesn't matter what the ring is really, or even if there is a ring or not a ring. Cheryl says, I'll take the ring and the house. Remember, the house, if it's the house that you're living in, that comes with some liabilities, right? So it must be more than just the house you're going to live in, because that in itself is a debt. Which is why mom was saying that she would prefer this future husband to come with cash flowing assets. So, like a business that's bringing in cash flow, right? A rental property that's bringing in cash flow. If you have a fleet of cars and stuff that's running taxi or delivery services and it's bringing in cash flow, she'd prefer something like that. I'm still not seeing mom. Hopefully she comes on soon. Said it was a short outage. I guess she'll be back on. Any questions for me? I know I'm not mom, but maybe I can answer maybe one or two questions. She's actually back. One moment. Let's see. Okay. See her. Mom, are you back now?
Yes, I'm back. Are you hearing me, seeing me?
Yes, we're hearing and seeing you.
All right, so I'm on my phone actually because some reason this internet not coming back in. Waiting for it to load itself or to reset.
Okay. Divinity was asking, what type of camera can I buy to put in my rental? And
In the rental? You mean outside?
yeah, I think you'll be outside. And Monica says, in other words, no broke pocket, man.
Oh yeah, I was answering that question. Yeah, I don't want a ring. What am I doing with a ring? You have to come with some assets, and your assets better double up mine too. Can't be no finky assets.
Like,
Because now I have to take care of you and myself on top of it. So
mm-hmm.
at this stage, boy, I tell you, at this stage I wouldn't get married. Seriously, guys. No way. I've escaped the wrath of the marriage.
Really? But maybe marriage at this age would be better.
So you think you want to test it out? I don't think so.
Going down, you both have more time. Careers would have been set already. You probably have more time to spend together in the marriage.
Hmm? You think so?
No, I'm just considering it.
Hmm? I'm at a disadvantage with this phone because I'm not seeing the chat. Ah,
Let me read it then. Or maybe I should do a chat overlay. All right, one moment. Maybe I can do an overlay for you. Can you see the overlay?
oh yeah, I can see. It looks like my computer is coming back up though.
Okay, that's good.
So the internet is back.
You need to log out of one of them for the feedback.
Hold on. Can you hear me? Tony, are you hearing me? No?
Mm-hmm.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Oh, everybody's hearing me? I was hearing an echo.
Because you have both devices logged in.
Okay, so you logged me out. Okay. So I was answering the question about the ring. No ring, guys. You know, back in the days where you had to come with some dowry.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need to get back to that. You have to come with some dowry. You can't have two broke pocket people and get married. Somebody have to come with something, right?
Who came with the dowry though? Wasn't it the wife's family?
Yeah, but
But I guess she's already married someone richer anyway, so.
yeah, so but you still had to come with something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you couldn't just offload her onto the man, the rich man with zero. You have to bring about 20 cow and 50 pig and 10 goat and all these things, so Monica says, not really Tony. But after being free for so many years, she doesn't need anyone to tell her what to do or where she can go. Exactly, Monica. Same way. So right now I'm on the North Coast hanging. I don't have a soul to say, when you coming back? Why you going so long? You know? Or who you out there with? What you doing? Like a nonsensical questions.
Mm-hmm. I was reading a book that a man wrote about marriage, and he says one of the things he hated about marriage, every decision had to be made together.
Yeah.
So he and his wife decided to do certain decisions, she alone makes it, and other decisions, him alone makes it. Whatever decision was made, we're going to work with it.
Right. Even a simple thing. So
Constant consultation.
the constant communication. You told me?
Yeah.
And then you can't agree on things, you know? So at least you say, okay, anything to do with the household is you. Anything to do with business is me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want that level of stress. I mean,
and then he had a thing where he put a price limit on it. So like you just said, anything that requires over 50,000 US dollars in spending, we make that together. But anything below that, you just make the decision and move on.
right. Yeah. And it's not about the independence or anything like that, because I don't even think I'm independent. I'm dependent on my children for quite a number of things, right? So it's not about independence. I mean, there is really no such thing. You're gonna be dependent on somebody for something. And I depend on my children a lot, right? And the reason why I can loosey goosey jump in on my car and say, Tony, I'm gonna North Coast, whatever,
It's because my children are there. You understand? As a base, they're there. If they weren't there now, then it get a little bit more tricky. But yeah, for you to for that then that man, if I'm married to a man now, he would be a part of our family. Because I am not going into his family. It's another thing with me now. I can't see myself picking up myself now, Tony, and leave now. I'm going to integrate with his family.
That's only that the Jamaican family structure is so suspect. He has to come into ours because
He
that
has,
would probably be a web of confusion. But
no, he would have to take up himself and come into our family, right? And the assets that he's bringing to our family has to be so clear that it has to come into our family. We are not waiting for you to die. No, it has to be transferred into our family. All right. We're not into that. Not at all. It has to be clear. So if it's money you're coming with, your 100 million, your 200 million US. Well, whatever currency. But if it's 100 million, 200 million, you can't sit on your bank account, friend. It has to come into our family's account. If you're coming with land, house, all these things, then it has to come into our family. We're not waiting.
Divinity was asking you, Mom, what type of camera she can buy for her rental property.
That I don't know. We don't use cameras. As a matter of fact, I have a camera sitting around somewhere here that's supposed to be installed at this property. Hasn't been installed yet. I think they use, some person has to use Blink. Is Blink it there? Tony? The ones that I see them using. A lot of persons at Camelot use cameras, but we don't use cameras. Oh, we use a camera at our property. We use but that's a Digicel. Digicel has this package where you pay monthly. They come and install the cameras. It can be for 2 cameras, 3 cameras, 4, whatever the package. Go on the Digicel website, you see it. So if you're not sure about the camera thing, and then Tony has an app on her phone, that how you interact with the app?
Just log in and you can see around the house and everything. And it has SD cards and stuff that stores the data you can access from the app. And
Right.
that just happened yesterday. I can go back in the app and look.
Right.
But we don't know anything about cameras.
Right. Tell about the cameras, because we, as I said, we use a Digicel. They come and install them, do everything. I think it was offline the other day, and they picked it up and they called. You get the call, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what had happened? I think we took off something, like one of the doors or something happened, but they did call. So that means I'm really paying attention, right?
Yeah, and if you don't answer after a couple rings from Digicel itself, the police actually calls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Digicel have a pretty good thing going. So women like us that don't have the manpower, no, that's a thing. That's a thing. You need, that's one of the things, the reasons why you would need men around, right? So we prefer hands-off stuff, which is part of the reason why I haven't even gone solar yet. But I'm looking at it to see how easy it is. Because me personally, I don't like to touch technical stuff. It's just not me. I don't want to fix anything. I just want to turn on the switch and it works.
I know I was in a line the other day just prior to the hurricane, and these 3 ladies were talking about the men, the husbands in their lives. And she said she's never seen her husband so active. The whole year, things that can be done around the house was done just before the hurricane.
Yeah, that's when these men jump into action. You wish hurricane blow every week.
I know, right? The whole year she can't get this man to do anything. Hurricane blow, in cut down tree, batten window, fill gas tank, meet the generator, everything.
Yeah, that's why you need the men, right? So Ring doorbell also have a camera, yeah. Blink. I think I hear them talking about Blink. But somebody says UFI is a better option. What is UFI? Is a subscription or is that a camera you just buy and install? All right, so somebody's asking a question. What if a person take out a mortgage to buy a property and want to renovate the house to live in, but their salary has been depleted in the mortgage? What can the person do? Their salary has been depleted, meaning you cannot get any more loan. That sounds like what you're saying. But usually the mortgage company wouldn't. That's strange. The mortgage company. So this renovation that you're doing, it's not as if the house is not livable. House is livable, right? Because normally, I know with Jamaica National in particular, if your valuer notes certain things on it like leaking roof, they're gonna lend you the money as well to do those repairs. So this sounds like just you don't like how the tiles are and so on, and you want to take them up and do them over, right? Is that what it is? Now, what can you do? First of all, you have to decide if this. For me personally, so Tony knows me. Don't come to me with no renovation, nothing if it's not making money. You have to be making more money. What's the point I'm going? This is why I'm having this beef with NHT now and this 3.5 saying, oh, you can't do home improvement. I'm like, why would I want to take out the tiles, change the kitchen counter and all of that? It's not making me any more money, is it? I'm going to be paying you money every month. And what's the point? What's the purpose? I'm not getting any more money. So I'm not doing it if it's not bringing me any more money, right?
Mom, but the NHT money, can't you start maybe the block and steel and then use the NHT money to do your windows and doors and all that other stuff? Like on a rental unit to your house?
No, that NHT money is the house you're living in. But you could probably.
The house
But
you live in.
they're not home improvement, not home addition or extension. It's home improvement. So the same 2-bedroom that you live in is in there, so you must be home improvement. If you start to put up a room or whatever on the side or on the back or whatever, that is now an extension, or we in Jamaica we say I do addition.
Mm-hmm.
They're not giving you that money to do that.
Cheryl says, I'll be in St. Catherine in a couple of weeks. How do I visit Palmetto Pines?
Well, the website has the Google pin, right?
Also written directions.
And also written directions.
Right. And we're there Wednesdays to Sundays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Right. And it is the website, palmettopinesja.com. Tony, you can probably drop that in the chat. palmettopinesja.com. Go on the website. Tony should have updated the map by now, so you can have a good idea of what's available still.
Mm-hmm. Marcia says, I just bought a property. However, my name is not currently added to the tax roll, but my lawyer issued a letter addressed to the land agency that could be emailed to the department. How soon the switch?
Go on the land agency website and go into the chat and ask them. May take them a couple weeks. Some persons got displaced there now, but you can go into the chat. You know how to go in. Tony, you can probably show them how to go into the chat. Yeah, Jovan says if the 3.5 isn't adding a studio unit, it don't make sense. No, it doesn't. You really want to do the renovations, you could look to rent out part of your property as well. And maybe rent it out for a year or 2 years and collect up the money and do what you need to do. You say your salary depleted, so you can't even get a short-term loan from a money lender because you don't have any money to pay back the money lender. Again, if the renovation has to make sense. If your salary is depleted, just paying the mortgage, and it means you really cannot afford anything else. So what you should probably be looking is an additional income source. That doesn't have to be rental. It can be an online job. It can be extra 2, 3 hours out of work in the evenings or something like that. So you may have to get another source of income for a year or two, then use that income to do the renovations that you need. So that's another way to do it. If you're overseas, you can probably tap into your. So those of you with all these 401ks and all these things, you can take out some of the money, I believe. You can take out some of the money and use it too. Do we have to pay back that money when you take it out? Somebody who knows the system, tell me. If you have money in your 401k or any one of those things that you have overseas, is this money that you need to pay back? You can also look at your insurance policies, see if you have cash back on those things. Oh, Tony's ready. Tony's ready.
Right. So on the National Land Agency website, there's a small icon at the bottom right, which is a chat button. So when you click it, let's see if it will click. Right, this box pops up here. It says we're offline right now, but normally you're able to select the department and then type a message. And once they're online, they'll usually just respond to you. And then you can give them your title information, like your volume and folio, and they'll be able to search your property and tell you what's happening. Mom, there's a question from here, Kuwait wants to know, can the government really take your house if land tax are not paid?
Yes. That law is on the books, but the Jamaican government not so strict with it, but it is there. Yes, they can do it. So I think that law is in every country for that matter.
Johan says, boy, NHT really giving me a 6 for 9. Emailed them like 2 weeks ago for a pre-approval letter. I've yet to get an update. Being overseas and dealing with these organizations is very hard.
You email them at wecare@nht.gov.jm. Did you go onto the portal? Go to your portal, Tony.
I don't think portal will help Jovan in this case if he's an overseas person.
He can check it. Show him where the portal is. Any question after that I can answer why they do that?
San says, what if you take out a mortgage and the other person not paying his part of the mortgage? What should the person do?
Pay the other person's part of the mortgage, because it's accruing penalty and interest. You have an interest in the property still, so pay it. If it comes down to it where you have to sell the property, then you let the judge know what portion of the mortgage you paid, and the judge will take that into consideration when the asset is to be split. But pay the mortgage or you will lose it. If it's a case where that you have a section and it can rent, maybe you rent out that person's section and pay the mortgage. Go to the full site.
But it's here, NHT online.
Okay. So you click there, NHT online. This comes up. This is Tony and login. But how do we? Tony never sign in, or so you create. Tony, you need to tell them how to create how to get to this stage.
Oh, hold on. So the first step is to register. So right down here, there's a button that says register. You click that first, and then you put in your name, NIS, your number, email, and register. After it's registered, it will then ask you to log in. And then when you log in, you have to go through a few steps, I think 3 steps. to actually register your account with NHT.
Volunteer can't get it online. That's what Jovan's saying.
Yes, that's correct. So if you're overseas or self-employed, you can't get it online. You have to request it from the WeCare.
So the NHT, the web, so the email is wecare@nht.gov.jn. Was that the email that you used? weCare@nht.gov.jm.
I was trying to find their contact page. But 3 weeks is a long time though, because I've dealt with them before and they've answered pretty quick. Yeah, it's weCare@nht.gov.jm.
Mm-hmm. All right, so just shoot them back the email again.
Or call them.
Or call them. Maybe he's overseas.
But you can still call them.
Tony, you live in a cheap Jamaica. People live overseas. That is like a mortgage money for that phone call.
Yeah, but they have toll-free numbers on the website.
Or them have toll free. Oh yeah, so the toll free there. Yes, so call them. Those numbers still work though.
I don't know.
All right, try using the toll free number. Toll free number. All right. Any more questions? You might have to back up a bit.
Let me see. Monica says, not really, Tony. After being free for so many years, she doesn't need someone to tell her what to do or where she can go. Yes. And then scrolling. Currency Walk was telling Stan to sell the house, and from that person, is it your spouse? Sell the house? Oh, the NHT problem, the mortgage problem. Okay. Okay, Giovanni saying Blink starts a subscription. That's a better option. Okay, so Sam says, what if the person take out a mortgage to buy a property and want to renovate the house to live in, but their salary has been depleted in the mortgage? What kind of person do? Okay, mommy answered that one. Jovan says, sounds like they're being over leveraged. Jovan says, if the 3.5 isn't adding to a studio unit, it doesn't make sense. Chris says, grandparents passed away, house and land, will to father and uncle, and then grandchildren. They are not keeping land and house. No one have title. How can I get a copy of the title?
You have the valuation number.
Or the general vicinity of the property aerially.
Yeah,
Like
address.
the properties on their address.
You said land, right? So is this country you're talking about?
There's house on it too.
Yeah, but is it country land with no type of address? Or is it a civic address, like I said 10 North Street? All right, while he answers that, give us any other questions, Tony?
Nadine was saying, yes, you have to pay it back to avoid penalty. What was that question?
Maybe that's in relation to the 401k.
Oh, okay. And then Sam says, follow up on my question. The house need to grill. There is no kitchen cupboard, sink, roof, want to fix.
Go back to the mortgage company that you borrowed the money from. That happened to us once when we bought an apartment and we went back to the mortgage company and borrowed again. Go back to the company because they don't want this thing to be in disrepair. I'm surprised that they didn't give you the loan to do the repairs because that should have been highlighted on the evaluation where you said, I'm saying no cupboards and what else?
No kitchen, and the roof needs to fix, and there is no grill. Well, I
Well,
guess
those,
that's for the only been roof.
yeah, roof would be a challenge, not the grill and the kitchen cupboards, it's a roof. So if
Mhm.
you're really depleted with money, you really probably just want to take the loan for the roof alone, then ping pong your way around the grill and the.
Right? Or maybe you see the roof can get a patchwork until that you could save and do.
The roof must be major. Why it is But if you bought it, like I'm still surprised that you didn't get the loan to do the repairs. Mortgage company usually does that.
Or
They
maybe
give
the
you
that
the loan.
was after the purchase month.
Yeah, was it at NHT? If it's at NHT, you can probably go back to NHT too, plead a case, write a letter, ball. That might work. You get some more money. Any more questions? Tony, almost.
Chris said, I know, and I have a workman to deal with. Chris says, father and uncle not showing any interest. I'm afraid someone will possess the land. It was a will.
So then probate the will. Are you one of the what are you, a grandchild?
Yeah,
Can you,
father and uncle
huh?
are the ones who are first in line on the will.
Right, so probate the will. You take it upon yourself and get a lawyer and probate the will.
Right, and it's best to do it before father and uncle pass away.
Yeah, because if your father and uncle pass away, you have to go probate their will as well. So you take it upon yourself and do that. If you have the property tax paper, show them how to go on the portal quickly. So you want a copy of the will? Tony, nla.gov.jm.
Mhm.
Somebody asking what's a good business to start in 2024. Boy, Sharika. You have to, first of all, when you're determining what business to go into, you have to look at what is the need. Where is the need right now? Then you try and match that need. We're in real estate, so we tend to stick to that. But what is the need? All right, bye, Monica. You have a good week yourself.
So you'd go here, Eland, Jamaica. Accept the disclaimer. And then here you can put in the valuation number if you have it, volume and folio if you have it, the street address or the stream address.
So if you, I ask you about the tax paper, so when you find the tax paper, you're going to go to valuation number. So you click valuation number. Or San says NHT, yeah, go back to NHT. Tell them the situation and borrow some more money. Valuation number and type it in right there. Then press search. When that happens, the box will pop up to the left corner and you will see the volume and folio, which is the title itself. And then you can buy it. Trying to bring up a property.
Yeah, but I don't know any off my top of my head.
Bring up a government property like Hero Circle. But you don't know where your circle is. That's in St. Andrew. Or the National Stadium. Type in national. Look for National Stadium. That must go by government.
I think on typing the National Stadium. I wonder. I see you here. I go to there, right?
Got a foot. Beverly Hills. Udo Blind Mona. Click on Udo Blind Mona. Maybe government own that too.
All right, see there? The scheme is actually UWI.
So the volume of folder there, that's a title reference. 10, what is that number, Tony?
1065 for the volume and 940 for the folio.
All right, so you can do a couple things now. You can buy the title, see it's a buy.
Right.
Hold on, you can tick what you want. So you want to buy the title. Add to cart and continue the process. Buy the title. When you buy the title here, you will know who owns it, right? Last entry with the name, that's the person who owns it. Put in your card and all of that. All right, Tony, go back. Then you can also go back to nla.gov.jm. I want to see. So you're gonna show them how to copy the valuation number. So you search on the map and you find the place. So you know where the road and all of that. I'm not seeing the screen. Go back on UWI. All right, Sharika, no problem. Yes. Chris's Countryland. Oh, so you need them to give you the volume of folio. Not the volume of folio, yeah. Or the property tax paper. You need to get that so we can map it. All right, so she's bringing up, Tony bringing up back Mona.
You can, if he's in Jamaica, he can also go down to the tax office to NLA itself and give them the name
of the person,
of his of the grandmother, because I guess she'd be the last owner. And if she had a tax, like a TRA, you can give them that as well, and they can search for it.
The best one to go to is the one on Arden Road, here beside Arden High School. The NLA on Arden Road, easier to get through there. So, Tony, you need to split your screen more. I think they're seeing too much of us and not enough of the screen.
Okay.
So all right, so look now. So it gives you the valuation number. You can click on that, copy it.
You're seeing it more now?
Yeah. You want to know who owns it. So click on it. I mean, copy it, sorry. So Sharika, I see a lot of people starting water business. Don't know lucrative, must be. Water business, but any business you start in Jamaica, Sharika, make sure you're there. You have to be there. Water business. I see a lot of these businesses now are the ones that bring in the packages, like a circles and so on. I don't know how saturated that market is right now. So you search for the tax, that is property tax. Search property tax Jamaica. You're looking for the portal. Your computer moving slow, Tony.
Yep. Tired.
And you're gonna drop that. No, those numbers that you copied, you drop it in here. copy it in there. So it
Commissioner
says
of Land.
Commissioner of Land, right? So the government of Jamaica owns it. Commissioner of Lands is a company or the entity or the body that the properties belonging to the Jamaican government are vested in. So if you notice the property tax is 0, that's because the government doesn't pay taxes to itself, right? So that's the UWI campus property owned by the Jamaican government. So you can do the same thing to find out who owns the property, whose name is on record then, or on the property tax roll. So let us know, get some information, either the property tax paper or the volume of folio number. Then you can get the title. You can buy the title online.
Another way to do it too is if you or somebody is in Jamaica, you can actually go on the NLA website via your cell phone and pin exactly where you're standing, and it will bring up the property. And
Right.
then you can get the volume and folio or the valuation number, and then get the title from that end.
But you have to show them how to pin. Show them which icon to click.
Mm-hmm. So when you're on, let me see if I can find it. Right. So when you're on the mobile view, right, it's gonna come up just like this. You're going to press this icon here. You see it?
Mm-hmm. You
And
press that icon and the map will come up. And wherever you see the little blue dot, that is where you are right now. So what you can do, as she says, go to the property. Stand there, open up the NLA website. NLA.gov.jm, ELAN. Open that up and then click that icon and it will show you exactly where you are. And then now you click the arrow now, Tony. So click back the arrow. Click back the arrow.
I can't click the arrow.
Oh, isn't this a UWI website? Isn't this a UWI lot you're on? Can't hear you.
Right. How it's GPS, so it's gonna pin where I am located. It's gonna move away from
No.
UA and pin where I am.
No, I'm talking about the arrow. Aren't you on the UWI parcel?
This one?
Yeah. So when you pin where you are, then you click the arrow, the one at the bottom, and it's going to give you now the details of the title, the land valuation, and so on. The person who asked a question, I hope we answered. Those are the ways that you can find out. Use this when we are searching for a property and we go on location. That's what we use to check if we're at the correct place or in the vicinity of it. Well, you check your NHT status, nht.gov.jm. Go to customer portal. What can be done if your previous places didn't collect your submit your taxes? Go with your pay slips. Make sure you have all your pay slips and go to NHT with the pay slips. Any more questions, Tony? That's it for today?
I'm looking. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning at 6 a.m. I know you have to get up early, like us, I made the sacrifice. But thank you. And had a good Sunday. We learned lots of stuff. So just implement as you go through. Implement. What's the cost of the valuation fee? What valuation fee?
You mean if you value a property?
Value of property, you have to ask the valuer. We don't know how to calculate that. All right, Joy. Bye. Bye, everybody. See
Bye.
you on Mastermind Group. Well, those of you who are part of that group, see you at 10 o'clock. Bye.
Bye, everyone.